Hello everyone. Lovely evening for a Spaces with Earthlings. How's it going, guys?
Doing well here. Bit cold though.
It is. Even where I'm at, where it usually doesn't rain that much. Today was a particularly cold and rainy day. It's a bit opposite to how it's been in the Hedera world, right? I mean, we're still pretty high off the recent price action, the recent announcements, and the exciting mint we had.
Yeah, it's nice and cozy in Discord and online, and I try to stay behind my computer and not go outdoors, but I do need to get some firewood sometimes, and my wife is glad that's my job.
That's very manly of you, Patrick.
Thank you
so much. Speaking of manly, we also have the hunk join us, Master Ogway.
These intros are getting better and better, Tito. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and nice to be joined by the Earthlings team again for another Spaces.
It's great to have the Spaces again with Earthlings. I'm not sure if Milan will be joining or not. Milan, aka Hedera Dev, but it's I think the third Spaces we have together with Earthlings to date, and I think most likely it's not the last. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We're just gonna probably take a couple more minutes to make sure that more people join. We have a lot to discuss today. We want to discuss about the stamps mint that just concluded, some of the technicals there. Also, we want to touch, and I think maybe that's probably the main event, talking about the towns and villages mint with Patrick. But Master, I know that it's been, I think, around 6 months since we had our initial HeadStarter IDOs and INOs, and because of market, because of multiple factors, you haven't been as requested in the community. How do you feel now that things are starting to heat up again?
It's a great confidence booster, Tito. Every day I'm getting praised, and yeah, it feels good.
As you should, sir.
It's really the master again. And Patrick's always messaging me, asking for favors and asking to come on Spaces again.
I never mess with you. I know where you live. That's the only thing I always say.
Yeah, I should probably...
For people who don't know, Master Ogway has been poached by the Earthlings team, and I think he's a very on-demand commodity here in the Hedera ecosystem.
But he has.
They're trying to, though.
He hasn't been poached. I mean, he's already working with us. It's just you doesn't realize that yet.
Hey, Milan.
Hey, Alex.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for joining us, Milan.
Yeah.
It's an exciting Spaces to have today. We are very happy to be joined by so many friends already, and we're gonna start dripping into things. This Spaces is an AMA that we do every couple of weeks. It's called HeadStarter Pulse, and we generally speak about things related with the HeadStarter product, some HeadStarter events. We recently had a few important releases and announcements. Obviously, the mints together with Earthlings have been huge. We also dropped a portfolio page where people can make use of the NFTs, HeadStarter utility NFTs that they might have collected or traded on secondary. They can burn them, they can check out their circulating supply, the details of their utility. And these are part of the suite of services that we will be offering in the future to other projects. Now, when it comes to today in particular, as you well know, we are joined by our friends from Earthlings, and we're discussing the stamp mint. We're looking at it retroactively. It's been a very exciting mint and very good-looking one. Marcel is a wizard in graphics, and obviously we're going to touch about the technicals of the mint, but also we're going to start digesting and anticipating the Towns and Villages Mint that will be happening next week on the 31st.
Yeah, very, very exciting indeed, Tudor. And I believe the Earthlings project and our wonderful guests need no introduction at this point. How are you guys doing?
Very well. I mean, I guess it's just one of us who talks. So this is Milan, Hedera Dev. Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alexi and Tudor, and happy to be here. Yeah, so as many, as you say, I don't think I really need an introduction. Milan, part of the Earthlings team, and incredible Hedera nerd. So yeah, that's in very short about me.
Great to have you, Milan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
At least you know what.
My pleasure.
At least you know what buttons to press. I wanted to kick it off as well, but then I pressed all these wrong buttons, and everything started to disappear on this little screen. But I'm back, guys. I'm back. So yeah, glad to be here. Thanks.
It's great to have you. So thank you guys so much for joining us. It's great to have you back for a refresher on the upcoming mint, but also to discuss everyone's experience with the stamp mint. For those that missed it, why don't you tell us about the mint that happened on Monday?
Is that me or Patrick?
Oh, whoever would like.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I'll also say a few words about the stamp. So we had this about the stamp mint. So we had the stamp mint on Monday. Yeah, that's right, 2 days ago. And it's a whole process, right? I mean, with the people who are minting, they only see the moment, of course, some announcements and the running up until the great big moment. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and obviously we've been preparing for a long time for this, and we've always wanted to do like this small low cost HBAR mint. We always wanted to do that, and initially it was actually with Earth Pins. We thought about that. We just turned that into an airdrop, but now we did this one with the stamps, and it's been a lot of work. Especially Marcel has been gone into it for the design, and it's really amazing. We've got a lot of feedback of people also just look at the stamps and see the incredible detail, and even if you got the used stamps, you see there's no two alike, because every time there's a different stamp or it's slightly on a different spot. We were very excited to do this with HeadStarter, with you guys, and it was also kind of like it was a celebratory, a celebration mint with we're working with you together, and but at the same time also it's a perfect opportunity to practice with the same the same mint setup. So basically the same logic that we will have with Towns and Villages, we will apply with we applied with the Earth stamps. So very, very excited how it went. I know we had 3 rounds, like we said that there could be 3 rounds, but it went so fast. The second round, I think everything sold out in 13 minutes. That's in total, what was it? 1,287 stamps, I believe. Really glad how everything went. I don't know, Patrick, maybe you have some additional words.
I think you said everything for the whole evening, but I would like to add something. Marcel spent many nights and actually also in the weekend because he had a lot of work for his normal company that he still does as well. So he was very busy, and then we decided to do these stamps. But Marcel can never then do something simple, and he then insists on making a zillion different ones. And so he's grumpy all week making all these stamps, but it's him who is insisting on making all these different ones. And man, he did a great job now, because we a lot of NFTs are generated by these online tools. I think, well, we never did it, and we never had to investigate it because we've got our own machine, Marcel. But it's not literally 1,300 different ones. I think it's 950, and they will correct me if I'm wrong, 950 something really different ones, and just a few are the same because some are without a stamp and they have several. But yeah, over 900, well over 900, almost 1,000 really unique ones, all made one by one. But it's the honors not only go to Marcel, because I know the rest of the marketing team had to check all the names one by one to see if the names are correct, and we gave HeadStarter the right documentation. So yeah, it was a great team collaboration, and I must say I didn't do a lot on that, so it was really credits to the rest of the team. But I must say when minting, I wanted them as well because they do look awesome. Yeah. So hats off to the team. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and actually I missed the second round because I was getting my wife from the airport, and I missed it. I was very sad about that, but you know, I minted 4, I believe. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to add was I remember. So the funny thing is, right, I'm not a designer at all. So, you know, every time, you know, Marcel blows me out of the water with all his design stuff, and Patrick as well. You know, the beautiful stuff that team is making is incredible. And you know, it's funny. I'm saying to Marcel, wait, why don't we use this generator? We use several layers, and then we can just generate it, and it's a lot easier for you. And Marcel didn't want to hear it. I mean, it was impossible. I'm like, well, I'm not lazy, but I'm more kind of efficient person, you know. And I was like, well, you can just generate it very easily. He said, no, I have to do it one by one. So every single stamp has been personally made by Marcel. How often do you see that? It's just incredible. I think it's amazing.
I totally agree. The artwork is beautiful. I saw lots of the H Barbarians celebrating their successful mint, and honestly, the artwork just blew me away as well. Very talented, amazing that he did all of them one by one. I can't imagine how that must have been. So it was a special mint that's one of the many reasons I would say it was a special mint. And Milan, you also touched on how this was a great celebratory mint for our partnership, but also to put this new smart contract minting to the test. And Tudor, why don't you tell us some more about that?
Thanks a lot, Alexi. So definitely it was unique, right? It was a unique mint in itself. 10 HBAR per NFT, and all of them are amazing art pieces, I believe. Obviously, as Milan alluded to, the mint is similar in logic to the Towns and Villages mint, and we're going to get into more detail there in a minute. The smart contract used will be replicated for the main mint. So that's the logic that we have proven with this event. But the Earthling Stamps mint was a first in the Hedera network in a few ways, and obviously a very proud moment for HeadStarter. We very much appreciate the being pushed to the limit and delivering on the mint. As you know, unlike other Hedera launchpads, HeadStarter started off as an IDO launchpad, and now we look at ourselves as a Web3 crowdfunding platform, since we offer versatility in the avenues of funding for projects that are shortlisted. Obviously, one of our USPs is that we do a thorough due diligence of the projects before going ahead and facilitating either an IDO or an NFT sale, an INO for this project. And Earthlings is a project that checks all the boxes indeed. As we look forward for other IDOs, and IDOs remain our bread and butter, we have proven through this mint together with Earthlings the feasibility of doing mints on HeadStarter for NFTs via smart contracts. How exactly it works in layman's terms is that whenever anyone on the stamps mint was clicking on the mint button, they were communicating to the smart contract on the Hedera network that actually runs the code of minting the actual NFT, where each NFT in the collection was unique. So it generates the IPFS CID based on the Hedera Pseudorandom number generator seed. So all these functionalities were pretty unique. It's different from other mints on Hedera because most of the other times those NFTs are being pre-minted, and whenever users are clicking the mint button, they actually have one of the pre-minted NFTs transferred to the so-called minter. So we believe that this makes for a fairer, more transparent experience, and we were very much happy to see that people were enjoying the experience. Obviously, this general transaction type takes longer time to process. Nonetheless, there are other additional complexities with wallet verifications, serials, allowlist for holders, and we're very proud to have covered all angles, and there wasn't any corners that we didn't leave unturned. The new functionality adds to the existing HeadStarter NFT functionalities. As you know, for the HeadStarter utility NFTs, you can burn them for a utility. You can when you burn an HeadStarter utility NFT, you remove it from circulation, and you're compensating in exchange with the HSD fungible token. This adds to the tools of gamification that we offer, and we are planning to roll out further other services so that projects that are coming and launching through HeadStarter can leverage and gamify in their own way. Now, one other thing that I would say is that the Earthlings is one of the Hedera leading projects, blue chip, and we're really happy that they worked with us, that they pushed us to the limit through the requirements of the mint, and we're very, very excited to see the Towns Mint and the Villages Mint, which probably would be one of the biggest mints in Hedera history. So very excited for that, and I'm gonna quit my rambling now.
Thank you for that, Tudor. No, very interesting. I don't think it was talked about enough just how unique this minting process was. So everyone that was minting a stamp was actually minting a stamp, which I think is incredibly cool. So it's very exciting. Now, I know we touched on this a little bit already, but Patrick and Milan, how do you think the mint went?
Well, for us, it was actually quite a relaxed experience because we had many people who were very happy actually about it. Yeah, of course, because of the many people that wanted to do it at the same time, and us deciding to, at a certain point, do it per wallet. Of course, some people did not manage to get as many as they wanted. Others had to bring their wife to the airport and missed the second round and were frustrated by that. But for me, it was a very nice experience with good tech support from you guys as well, what made it even better, because some did have some questions and they were dealt with right away in a very nice and professional manner. So yeah, we were very happy. I at least was very happy with the way things went. Thanks for that.
Oh, that's great. It's our pleasure.
It was terrible good. It was very good.
You got me in the first half.
It's funny because in France they say terrible, terrible means very, very good. So, which is I had to get used to that one. But no, I'm very, very, very happy with how it went. But it's not about it's not only, of course, about that moment that everybody starts pressing that button, and the mouse has to click, make 1,000 clicks per second. But it's the whole procedure as well, for us at least, on going to that moment, and Tudor, you've mentioned about the pseudo randomness of Hedera, the new Hedera functionality, and it's really great also that I've worked with your dev team. Also they knew it was a new functionality, but also making sure that it is actually random. So writing even a script to make sure that, testing and then making sure that the numbers that came out of it that were actually random. So I really appreciated that, working as well behind the scenes with developers and with your whole team, of course. And but so regarding the mint, for me, everything went fluent, and and I believe there were some things that were brought up, but I think HeadStarter was have categorized them all and happy to address them. So, but for me, honestly, very, very well, and so many good feedback of people and people excited, and of course, I mean, look at all those beautiful stems. It's like kind of this situation got created, people thinking back of their youth and I want to collect stems again. I used to collect stems, and now this is another drive. So excellent, really, really good, and excited to have pushed you as well, because I know we as a team we are very, very I won't say demanding, but demanding. Maybe yes, we're demanding, but we're also very clear in what we want and how we see it, and that we want to make sure that that the community comes first. That all of our prerequisites are met with. So yeah, I think also a big bravo to you guys, how you've managed to get along with us. No, this is a joke, of course, but how to it's not nothing, the specific things. It's not like just minting a NFT. There's a whole scenario we've built up to make sure that we wanted the specific things to happen. So bravo, big bravo. I think Patrick has his hands up.
It was uniquely gamified by you guys, and also very much anticipated for some time. So obviously I think it's the credit for the way that the mint was perceived and was received by the community goes to you guys. Obviously we have a few people in attendance, so if there's anybody who wants to jump in and give feedback, input, recommendations, tell us how it was or what stamps they managed to collect, we're very happy to have you on and discuss about it. In the meanwhile, we're joined by Italian Jedi. Thanks for joining us, sir. How are you doing?
Yes, absolutely. How are you doing today? I'm not sure who's behind the HeadStarter icon, but hello, Master Uguay. Patrick, I believe, is behind the Earthlings and Hedera Dev. Panda, H Friends, JK, H Bar Joe, Jack Diamond, everyone else in the room, hello. Hope everyone's having a great day. I managed to get my hands on a gold stamp 25 volume 2, which I'm pretty stoked about. And I wanted to ask a question. My apologies if this has already been addressed. But I tried to mint through your guys' website. Sorry, that's my daughter. She's got a little cough in the background. Through the HeadStarter site on my Android phone, and I wasn't able to do so. simply because there was no pairing string available, and it just wasn't allowing me to connect. But I just quickly switched over to my MacBook, and that was a seamless transition and seamless process. So I appreciate that. So I just wanted to know if anybody else had addressed that issue, and if so, is there a corrective measure in place?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Actually, we have discussed and in the team meeting, the technical meeting that we had today, all the experiences that people had. And indeed, you cannot connect from the, actually Hashpack doesn't support connecting from outside applications, websites to their mobile application. I saw Pluto, if I'm mistaken, feel free to jump in. And we're going to make it more explicit in the future, so it won't be as confusing. But the way that it's expected to work while using a mobile device and using Hashpack off your iPhone or Android would be from the dApps page of the of your Hashpack to insert the URL, or hopefully by the time of next mint, we're going to have the HeadStarter dApp in the shortlist of applications supported by Hashpack. So that would be the way forward. As a corrective measure, we did identify this as a area of concern, and we'll make it more clear that of how it's expected that you should connect while using a mobile device.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the explanation. I appreciate you taking time to field the question, especially considering it may have already been asked. And like I said, for someone like me or others in this space who've been here for a while, it's just a real quick fix. We hop on our PC and, it's not an issue. But just to capture any new users that might be attracted to the project, to not have them frustrated and dissuade them from wanting to be involved because of something that essentially is a minor technical issue. But for somebody that's new, it could be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm happy to hear you guys have a corrective measure in place, and thank you for taking my question and let me come up on stage. I appreciate it greatly.
Appreciate you coming on, and obviously we encourage everybody to either jump up, tell us about your mint, your experience, your recommendations, your input, and we're also excited to discuss the stamps that you managed to capture, and we'll be discussing in a bit more detail, I think, the improvements that will be made following the mint. Don't want to make this the theme of the discussion, but obviously happy to address any concerns that there might be.
Definitely, yeah. We have a section later on where we'll address some of the issues that people ran into and what the team is doing to prevent it for the next mint, but that'll come a bit later. Thank you for that, Italian Jedi, and glad you got lucky on that mint. That sounds awesome. I had just asked Patrick and Milan about how the mint went, but Tudor actually wanted to ask you as well. How do you feel it went?
So that's to us, right? Or
oh no, sorry, that was so you, Patrick, and Milan. Yeah, no, that's all good. I know it pained you to be cut off early, but yeah, this one's for Tudor.
Well, for me, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first time that we're adding an emphasis on the INO, so the initial NFT offering or NFT sales on HeadStarter. Our bread and butter are fungible tokens. Although we had an INO for our utility NFTs in July, we really improved our smart contract capabilities and support, as mentioned earlier, with the requirements and the support of Earthlings. So that's monumental. We're adding to the functionalities of burning your NFTs for whatever gamification that you might require. And I think that this mint was a great celebration. I also managed to mint a couple of NFTs myself. I wasn't as lucky as the Jedi, but I'm really happy because the stamp collector in me has been long forgotten, so it brings back memories.
No, that's nice. That was actually my next question for both of you. if you did mint any stamps, and how was the experience? And to those things you were just telling us, maybe you can go first.
The minting was as expected. Obviously, we tested these functionalities for a lot of times in the weeks past, and there were no surprises from our perspective. We obviously want to continue to improve and capture any corner scenarios that there might be. And since this was the first NFT, more complex NFT drop on HeadStarter, we think it. I had a great time. It was great to have as many people engaged on our Discord, and yeah, I read a tweet the other day that it took a time since they heard something coming from the HeadStarter DApp. Well, I guess the wait was deserved. So happy to
definitely
spotlight, and it's gonna stay that way, I guarantee.
Nice, that's great to hear too, though. And how about yourselves, Patrick and Milan?
I think it went great, and I just wanted to say I really feel that you guys set yourself on the map here, because well, you said a lot of technical stuff and Milan understands all these things, but just in a one-liner, we had a very difficult mint with a lot of specifications and a lot of, yeah, we were demanding. We wanted like this and this and this and this, and if you do this, then you need to do that. So just to put it in layman's terms, it was a very difficult mint, and I can imagine that maybe you guys were nervous or not. If you were, you didn't show to us. But doing a mint like this, and then of course every mint has some little things. I don't like to use the word wrong, so just don't take it like that. So, but things going wrong, or that you draw a lesson from. So we had that this time as well. But let's be honest, overall, this was a great experience, and the things that we now found, we can just use and correct them and adjust a little bit for the upcoming flawless village and town mint. So yeah, I really think if you know, seeing that you are not officially a platform that does this every day, and then kicking it off with a complex mint like this and doing it awesome like you did with great backup, I think that's worth an applause. So yeah, I think I said enough. Hedera, you want to say something, Milan?
Yeah. Well, as I said, you know, we're often very happy from, as I talk from a team's perspective, is that just the fact that we didn't had like team meetings during the weekend or early night and so on, just before the mint. That's pretty epic. I mean, there was a lot there. Everything is managed by HeadStarter, and in a very professional manner. I mean, I can really hats off to that, because that's something that is really noteworthy. And you know, also, yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's just yeah, really glad. I can't add anything anymore. I think everything is said, and yeah. Happy.
Thank you. That's really, really nice to hear. We appreciate the kind words from you guys. It means a lot. And it's a shame our devs aren't here to hear it as well. But we'll definitely pass it on, because they have been working extremely hard for this mint. So I'm sure it feels good. Italian Jedi, you have your hand up, I see.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing, and then I got to hop off to get on a call. But I want to say, like, the way that you guys have chosen to do your drops and give the founders cards exclusively, you know, the ability to do that and really rewarding, you know, the early supporters first, I think is just fantastic. And I love that continues to go on in the project. And then how you guys did the drops of the stamps, like, it's a critical thing, I feel, in this space, because it is demographically an older audience. I'm not saying that there can't be younger people in the Hedera ecosystem, the NFT ecosystem, or people that are older than that target demographic. But a lot of people in that meaty part of that curve are very familiar with different things from their childhood that invokes a very, very powerful sense of nostalgia. And when that's done right, like just like you guys were discussing, it's so natural and it's so organic, and it like really interjects some fun into the process of already a foundationally good project. So I'd like to say you guys are crushing it there. Once again, thank you guys so much for having me up. I look forward to hopping in more AMAs and joint affairs with both Earthlings and HeadStarter from my capacity of the Hedera Yacht Club. And you guys have like a fantastic day. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys shortly.
Thank you so much, Talon Jedi. I mean, you don't hop off yet before I can say my words to you. Yeah, thank you so much for those words, and especially as you know, if you mentioned about the founder card holders and so on. I mean, it's really about making sure that we always listen to the community, right? I mean, we don't have all the knowledge, and we always every day we're constantly in contact with different community members, and always making sure that the path that we're taking is absolutely in line with the people that are supporting us. Because if we would just go run the other way, it wouldn't make any sense. This Earthlings is the biggest part, is just the community, right? And you're enabling us. So all these, for example, that 6 hours window for founder card holders, having a stamp attributed per founder card, or with the towns and villages, you know, having a guaranteed white a spot to mint. Those are all things, because it's so important for us that we're always in contact with the community, and that's, you know, that we're, and also, you know, if at any time it doesn't make any sense, please reach out to us and tell us, you know, because we've maybe said a few things before, made decisions, and I can guarantee you, people, you know, they say, well, that doesn't make any sense, and then we look at it again and find, okay, well, maybe this is a better solution. So yeah, thank you so much for your kind words to Talon Jedi, and yeah, definitely see you around.
Yeah, just one final thing before I get out. That actually speaks volumes, like I was just alluding to earlier. The fact that you're willing to realize that, you know, you're moving forward with the best intentions, and sometimes, you know, you get it wrong. Like, it's so refreshing to hear that from a founder's perspective, because, you know, it puts the ego aside, and it just lets the holders know that, you know what, we aren't perfect. We are going to make mistakes. And when we do, like, call us out, please call us out, you know, obviously in a tactful and respectful way. And then we'll use that information to pivot, and we'll make a better project for the community, because that's the reason that we're doing this whole thing in the first place. So I commend you guys on having that kind of ethos programmed into your overall mentality of the project. And I do actually have to go, but thank you so much for the kind words back. Firm believer in reciprocity, and I appreciate it tremendously. You guys have a blessed day. Take it easy.
You too. Thank you for hopping on.
Man, I love that
Alrighty.
guy. Come on for more.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's great to have him on. Shame he has to leave so soon. But that means I can move on to my next question. Now, you guys have already said some very nice things, but you know I can never get enough. So I wanted to ask you, Patrick and Milan, how it was working with the HeadStarter team leading up to and during the mint.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I just wanted to say, because a friend who left early now, he said not too many young people. I must say, I do see Rippengol in here, and he's young. And we have some other the young fans in our Discord as well. Just wanted to give them some credits too. We got some nice young people in the Discord community. Youngest one is 12, I think. But my man, he's smarter than me. But it doesn't take a lot to be smarter than me. So, getting back to the question, Master Uwe, what was I think, didn't we already answer that question? What was the question again?
Oh, I was sorry. I was just asking how it was working with the HeadStarter team leading up to and during the mint. It was briefly mentioned, but you know I can never get enough of it.
Yeah, it was harder for you guys than for us, I think.
I think I'll interject. I think it was addressed. Obviously, we had great communications, and I think the two teams have a lot of synergy. I know that we kind of want to touch upon the main topic of discussions, which is the towns and villages preparation, some details, some hints there. Before that, just to close the subject of the previous mint, I think that we wanted to just present some sneak peeks into the tech discussion this morning. So as the Jedi mentioned, there were some troubles connecting to the dApp from mobile. This can be done easily through the Hashback dApps page, and that's how it's intended to work. We are investigating the remark raised by secured Hashback wallets. There were some bugs that were mentioned as a response, or network congestion error message. So in case these messages came up when minting, you weren't actually charged. As a potential fix, we are going to update to the latest Hedera SDK that came out last week. And add more web proxies, so that should help prevent applications from disruption in case some nodes are down. Nonetheless, Hedera has no mempool, so that means that in case of very high network congestion, there will be situations where some transactions will inevitably time out, and we're obviously on the cutting edge of innovation here, so we will deal with these as they come along. So HeadStarter hopefully will be added in the dApp list for Hashback. There was an error making the contract call, and this happened if a user was using two tabs and trying to mint from two tabs at the same time. And unfortunately, there's not much that we can do in these scenarios. Finally, there was a time where people were very anxious and the last mints were coming in from round 2. And at that time, there was an error in the web page. There was because of the database requests were throttled. And we are going to scale up the DB so this experience doesn't happen again in the future. I think these were the main concerns of the dApp. We're gonna add the necessary patches so that the experience will be even better for next week's mint.
Definitely, and of course, any problems anyone has, you know where to reach us, either in the Earthlings Discord. I'll try to be present as possible there as well. But in the HeadStarter Discord as well, we have our devs there watching the chat, everyone from the team. So we will do our best to help you out in that regard. But hopefully, sorry, Tudor.
What are you doing in the Earthlings Discord? I thought I told you that.
No, he's right.
That's a Tudor.
I need to be there because we have your address posted in our Discord, so they know where to go.
Dude, I have to, man. They know where I live. I haven't left the house in weeks.
Only 20 minutes from us.
I gotta say, it is pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for that, Tudor, for addressing those issues. Now, moving on to the next question I have for the Earthlings team. I would love to hear more about the upcoming towns and villages mints.
You take that one, Milan, better because it's more your thing. You did so much work on that, so I'm not going to take the honors here.
Okay, so I'm not sure where to start. I mean, there's so much to say. I mean, this is kind of a real big thing we've been working towards, right? So what would you like to hear, Master Ukwe? Everything?
Milan, I know we covered this in our previous Twitter spaces with you guys, but I'd love to hear it all again. What the community can expect, what the purposes of the mint, when it's happening, everything.
Yeah. So let me just. I mean, I have pinned the fact sheet about the Earthlings towns and villages mint, so you can everybody can just click right now on there and then read with me. So basically, there are. So we're selling. There will be the Earthlings towns and villages that's on next Wednesday, the 31st of December. We're way past December. It's January, and it's also not a Wednesday. It's a Thursday. So I'm completely mixed up.
Tuesday.
Anyway, that's why we have such a nice fact sheet, right? So that everybody can.
Sorry, Milan. I think it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. I said Wednesday, but it's Tuesday. So basically, what we've done, right? I mean, this is a big mint, and we have 240 towns and 365 villages. Now, we wanted to have the founder cards holders to have at least the possibility to mint either a town or a village. What we've done is, if you hold the founder cards, your serial number has been in a big spinning wheel, and we made a big event of that in December. Marcel was spinning live the spinning wheel on Discord, and he shared all the serial numbers of the founder cards who could mint a town. Now all the others, there are 500 something, don't pin me on it, 550, 560 founder cards in circulation. So there are 240 towns that are picked that can that are eligible to mint a town, and the rest can mint a village. So that's during the first 24 hours on Tuesday, 31st of January 2023. That's then happening at 3 p.m. UTC, and as a founder card holder, you will have 24 hours to mint your town or your village. And after that, then it's the second round. So that's 24 hours later. That's the 1st of February. Also 3 p.m. UTC. Then it is. It will be not public. It will not be a public round, but it's semi-public. It's similar to the Earth stamps. So if you hold one of the Earthlings NFTs, and here the stamps are excluded, but it's on the fact sheet, so you can check it. So maybe if you have a watch or a Earthling airship, if you hold at least one of those NFTs in your wallet, then you can mint maximum of a town or village with that wallet. But also there will be, count on it, there won't be many left. There's a minimum of, I think, about 29 I believe villages that will be left for that second round. But you can count on it that there will be many people trying to mint those. So it's gonna be rush hour, I think, for HeadStarter at that point. Patrick, anything you'd like to add? Maybe something about the villages and the towns.
I'm actually hoping that there will be more than these 29 left, and I'm hoping so, because we spoiled the founder card holders a lot, and we will be doing that, of course, for a long while, because we really love them, that they gave us the trust early on already. But we do need to diversify and step out of the community more as well, of course, to grow the project, and that is, by the way, something that we are focusing on the coming months as well. But I am hoping actually that there will be a little bit more than those 29 left. There will be, of course, because there's always people who forgot to recharge their wallet, or were just still sleeping, or forgot what day it was, or have to pick up their wife from the airport, like Milan. So things like that happen, you know. Yeah. So my guess is there will be a little bit more, but if when this mint goes as the other mints, it will be quite fast. Maybe I'll try and mint one as well, just to see if I can drive the server crazy even more to stress test Hedera HeadStarter a bit more as well.
I don't think that'll be needed, Patrick. This is a much anticipated mint for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also a map that the team created, and it's a really so the design is made by Marcel and the team, and then and then Jorgo, our head developer, he programmed the whole map. So it will hold the town and village. They will hold coordinates, and what type of region you are in. And it's the map itself. I mean, Jorgo, the whole team is like that. We don't take any, there's no middle way. We're going all the way. So even that map is so beautiful, made with filters and so on. You can select the towns you like, and you can see them on the map. And that, of course, in the future we will be showing that one. I'm not sure when we will show that one, but that's really, really great as well. I really enjoyed looking at how that one got developed.
Good that you're
well.
saying that, by the way, of the map, because we don't talk about Jorgo a lot, but he did a real good job on this map. And indeed, he's like Marcel is really stressing that with the stamps. No, if we do this right, then I need a zillion different stamps. Well, so is Jorgo. He's the same with his map. He wants every little detail in there, and I must say I'm impressed with what he did. The allocation map, and he made you can switch off the train tracks, and the roads will be added later as well. And he's still implementing more. But can we still add this and add this and add this? He's telling me, so well, let's first just put it online, and we can add it later. But it seems like. We all, as I am very keen on the game design, where I always tell them, no, we're gonna make it even better. Marcel has the same with his NFT collections and everything that he means on the marketing side as well. And Jorgo, he's as fanatic as Marcel is with his stamps on his allocation map. So let's hope the allocation map works very well then soon.
It will. And Patrick, I just got a message that Marcel is here as well. So, Alexi, if you would like to ask some design questions, he's up here and he's willing to say hi.
Hey, Marcel, have you requested? Yes, you have. We'll try bring you up here. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. All righty, let's see if we can get you up here.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm here.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I want to come back about the stamps, because the entire team, no, not the entire team, some of the team said, let's do for the first mint, do a surprise mint like we did now with the stamps, and just make 1 or 2 stamps. And I really didn't get that. Only 1 or 2 stamps. So that's why we made a lot of more. And I even, Suzanne even told me, why are you making it so difficult for yourself? But where's the fun? I couldn't live with that. Getting Suz, if Suz was flooded with just this 1 or 2 different stamps. So that's why I decided to put a little extra work in it. And I must admit, it was fun to do. It really was. And I also liked the results. I just wanted to add that.
No, that's amazing. The artwork is absolutely fantastic. So well done. It's great to have you up here. I don't believe we've had you up here yet on one of these spaces. I wanted to ask how many sleepless nights you had creating these stamps.
Oh, that's a nice question. I had to. I worked for every weekend and weeks in the evenings and during the day if I had time next to my other job. But yeah, it took a lot of work. But again, it was fun to create them. So it took a lot of time.
It was definitely worth it, Marcel, and greatly appreciated by the community.
Well, thanks.
The stamps I saw people sharing looked just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Afterwards, it was really worth it, Marcel. But during these few weeks, we had to put up with zombie Marcel, and I feel really sorry for his wife for those 3 weeks.
I'm glad you can laugh about it now.
Yeah, but it was because I was a little tired. But yeah, I agree. Sorry, Patrick. Sorry, Suus.
Well, it sounds like you guys have put together a killer team. Very excited for everything you guys are putting out. Now, getting to the last question I have here for Tudor, actually. Of course, if anyone that's listening has any questions, feel free to request the mic and we'll bring you up here for that. But Tudor, how can the community best prepare for the upcoming Towns and Villages Mint?
Thanks for the question, Master Ogre. I'm going to try to keep it short. So once the pools open, basically when we deploy the 2 contracts on the mainnet. So there will be 1 smart contract for the towns, 1 from the villages. Similar to the stamps project, they will be able to click on their respective asset that they will be minted, or they were whitelisted, allow listed for minting, and thereafter the price, everybody should get the amount of HBAR that they want for their mint. The way that we are going to implement this is that the towns and villages, they have a US dollar value, and we're going to be taking a snapshot of the HBAR price before the mint, and we'll be pegging the towns and the village respectively to a certain amount of HBAR. So make sure that you check the project page in the day of the mint to know how much HBAR you need to prepare to mint the asset that you would like. I also recommend to everybody that intends to join to connect to the DApp and see if it works for all their wallets. If there's any concerns that they might have, we will be on our Discord ready to support. Obviously, we're most approachable on Discord, but we can also reach out to us on Telegram as well. So happy to continue to improve and listen to user feedback as it comes by.
Definitely. And Tudor, would you happen to know how long before the mint the HBAR price snapshot will happen?
It will happen a few hours before the mint time. That's when we are deploying the smart contract. So I think the mint is at 3 p.m. GMT. They can check at least 30 minutes before that.
Okay, fantastic. So I'll give an accurate representation of the price. And as far as snapshots go, do the Earthlings have to worry about any other snapshots in regards to the founders' cards and their wallets and that kind of thing?
So as Milan mentioned, there was a flywheel lottery that was done. So each serial number of a founder club is allow listed to mint either a town or a village. As soon as a certain serial mints the asset, these NFTs might be traded on the market. So I would be very careful if I was the community when I purchase a founder card on a secondary market in the day of the mint, after the mint has started. It's possible that founder club had minted their town or village. So I would be careful for that, because once the founder club has minted, it's excluded from the follow from minting again, obviously.
No, it's good that you remembered to bring that up. That's very important. So be careful, guys.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. I forgot about that, but yeah, absolutely. Just if you really would like to mint doing that first round, please just get your founder cards before the mint starts, because otherwise you wouldn't know if it just maybe it's not used yet. You buy it, and then the person who still holds it in the wallet just mints now, and then you're still you're too late. So please don't try buying anything that same day, if you would like to be safe. I mean, there are people, of course, that are exploring the risks in life, but yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's all the questions I had prepared for you guys. So thank you so much for your insightful answers.
Thank you, Alex.
And the timing was perfect, Alexi. Being at the top of the hour, I would like to thank our wonderful guests today, and also our listeners. Thank you, Patrick, Milan, and also Marcel, for coming up I really like the team avatars we have going on there. Really cool touch. Appreciate everybody's time today. Make sure you keep an eye out for the announcements regarding the towns and villages mint. It's probably the most anticipated mint coming up on Hedera for a very, very long time. And make sure you follow the entire team of Earthlings on their socials. As always, you can reach out on our socials or on Earthling socials. Master Ogwe is on both of the channels. Against my will, but hey, we're gonna have a side discussion on that later. If you want to listen to this, we are recording the spaces, and you can also check it out in the next few days on our YouTube channel. Catch you guys next week for a Earthlings Spotlight Series AMA. After the much anticipated mint. Final words, anybody?
Well, yeah, I wanted to say, I mean, you said 2 channels, but you know just as well soon that will only be 1 channel, huh, Master Ugwe?
Help me, Tito.
Tito's going to be mad. He doesn't want to work with us anymore. You're worth more than our partnership with the villages and towns. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tudor. Thank you so much for your great.
In private, Tudor, about Master Way and
yes,
Milan, because I don't trust either of them.
Well, you know where to find me if you want to have a private chat.
All right. Thank you so much for having us, Tudor and Alexi. And it was really great to be here and really excited to all the things that are coming. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's been a true pleasure. Always love catching up, and nice to see more of the team hop up here. Look forward to future spaces together. And yeah, have a great evening.
Love you later, guys. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Good luck with your mint. Ciao.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.